This is a very significant and serious occasion that will be in the history books.
Showdown in the Senate. The impeachment trial of Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton is now underway, and some of the state's top lawyers argue whether Paxton should stay in office.
We heard about house renovations supposedly paid for by the manipulating boogeyman, Nate Paul. I'm going to show you the documents, and you're going to see that this article is false, just like every other one.
Over the course of 3 months, Mr. Paxton personally met with Nate Paul more than 20 times. Many times, Mr. Paxton would ditch his security detail.
While the Texas Senate is transformed into a courtroom,
and what we're seeing in actuality is a witch hunt.
Across Texas, voters show up for and against impeachment.
They are going after the strongest conservative we have in the entire state.
Tonight, a breakdown of this high-profile trial that could have historic implications. We have team coverage for you this evening from here in Houston and from the state capitol. Lynn Cannon and Adam Bennett are in Austin.
Len, we talk about the history of this trial, but this is significant to Republicans going after a fellow party member.
Marcelino, it is significant as well as surprising. The first day of the impeachment trial adjourned just about an hour ago, actually several hours early. Let's look at the highlights from today. This morning, the senators voted to keep all the charges against Ken Paxton. That's 16 of them. This afternoon came opening statements from prosecutors and the defense, but Ken Paxton was not there to hear it. He left unexpectedly after lunch. The first witness was also called today, a former Paxton staffer. Adam Bennett also in the Capitol today watching the proceedings. Adam, we didn't even know if we would have a trial today. Explain.
So, Lynn, that was the big question in the weeks leading up to today. That's because Paxton's team, his legal team, filed a number of motions trying to get all of these articles of impeachment thrown out. But today, you mentioned that vote by senators. They denied those motions. So this trial will go on with all 16 articles of impeachment originally up for consideration for this trial being considered here. One of the first things that happened was Paxton's lawyers pleaded not guilty on behalf of their client. Then later in the afternoon, we saw opening statements. The head of the Texas House prosecution team took just over 15 minutes. Representative Andrew Burr said that Paxton's misused his office to help friend and donor Nate Paul. In return, they say Paul paid for renovations on Paxton's Austin home and got a job for Paxton's alleged mistress. But Paxton's lawyers used nearly their entire hour allotted for opening statements to express adamantly that they believe Paxton's relationship with Nate Paul was above board. Tony Busby said the Paxtons paid for those home renovations and also said that that alleged affair partner got the job on her own.
And Nate Paul even set up a secret Uber account that allowed Mr. Paxton to secretly visit Nate Paul and others. To conceal his efforts, Mr. Paxton communicated in off-the-book ways, using burner phones, encrypted messaging apps, and secret email addresses.
You're going to see the employment contract. You're going to see what her salary was. You're going to see her pay stubs. You're going to hear about the work that she did. And you're also going to hear that she continues to do that work today. Today. That was not a bribe. That was a job sought out and received, and she's doing real work today.
Another key moment today, Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick ruled that Paxton cannot be compelled to testify in this impeachment trial because the rules here are so similar to those of a criminal trial. Patrick swore in the first 6 witnesses. So far, we've heard from one of them. That is a former top deputy for the AG's office, one of Paxton's former top deputies, and was actually one of the whistleblowers in this case that first brought all of these allegations to the FBI's attention in late 2020. The House prosecutors spend a lot of time talking about his conservative credentials, presumably to push back against the defense's argument that this is a politically motivated impeachment trial. Len?
All right, Adam, thank you very much. It's been a long day. We got a long way to go. Let's look at the schedule according to Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick every day for the trial. Every day it'll run from 9 to 6 p.m. maybe going a little bit later. Monday through Friday, there could be exceptions there, like a Saturday. There'll be 20-minute breaks every 90 minutes or so, lunch happening at 12:15 every day. Each side must give 24 hours notice of witnesses. We will have continuing coverage streaming and online, and we'll also have a story about why Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick today used the Sam Houston Bible as part of the swearing-in ceremony. Back to you.
Quite symbolic it was, and folks can read more about it. Lynn, tonight, thank you.